Welcome everyone to the game between Arjun Erigaisi and Vishwanathan Anand. They are playing against each other in the finals of the Jerusalem Masters 2025. This is the first game between them, and what a battle this is. Arjun, the strongest player of the country right now, and Vishy Anand being the strongest for over 3 decades. Battle of generations. So nice to see them playing each other. Arjun opens the game with d4, and Vishy here takes his time, calms himself down, and responds back with d5. Arjun pushes his pawn to c4, e6 played here. Now knight comes out to c3, knight to f6, and you have knight to f3. Black can now play bishop e7, pawn takes pawn, c6, bishop b4. Many options, or the hyper modern stuff with a6 and h6. Vishy goes bishop e7, cd, ed, bishop f4, c6, e3, bishop f5. We missed a few moves, but now knight to h4, attacking the bishop here. The bishop comes up ahead. If you take here, I have knight takes e4 with a very good position, so you can't take it. f3 by Arjun, asking a question to this bishop, and Vishy brings the bishop back to g6. This is all opening prep here by both sides. g4, whoa, that's a risky move, because takes, this is hanging, but always white has knight takes g6 in between. So Vishy goes knight bd7, and Arjun here putting a lot of pressure on Vishy right out of the opening. But Anand has one simple thing that he believes in. He's played so much chess, he knows when he's flaunting the rules, when he's not. And when he's not doing it, he's not afraid of anybody, because he knows what are the limitations of chess. Knight to f8, look at him maneuvering his knights there. Knight to e6, attacking the bishop here. White long castles. And now maybe the idea could be to play h4, h5 later. Bishop d6, first getting rid of this well placed bishop. It's a good idea, because after takes, you can also get long castling. Takes, queen takes, taken. And now g5. Arjun attacks the knight. The knight can go to h5. The knight can go to d7. The knight can also go to g8. It goes to d7. And notice this small little pressure on the h2 pawn. King b1. First, a useful move to just put the king on the side. And knight e6, bringing in the knight. f4, defending the g5 pawn here. And black long castles here. Now the idea is knight to b5, there's queen b8, so it's not a big problem. Arjun still goes for it. Knight b5, attacking the queen and the pawn. You can't take it, of course, because of the pin. Vishy brings the queen to b8, and there's no way that you can take advantage of this slightly uncomfortable situation right now. h4, and kick the knight away with a6. And that's what Vishy does. He pushes the pawn to a6. Knight comes back to c3. And the position is so interesting here, because even though black is solid, you can see that there are some dark square holes in the position. Also, bishop takes a6 feels like a juicy option at some point. Queen c7 and f5. Arjun's going in. Now notice, you can take here, but after fg, fg and queen g6, white is better. So that's why Vishy rightly takes on f5. Queen f5 coming in, attacking the pawn on f7. Some pressure. Knight can move away to b6, but queen d6, a nice move. Point being, if you take here, I want to go knight g5. Now, taking advantage of this pin. So Arjun comes bishop e2. And also there can be ideas of h5, h6 coming in. Rook f8 by Anand, and e4 Very quickly played. Now don't take the pawn, because then pawn push comes right in the heart of the center. He goes g6, a good move. Vishy is holding his own against Arjun's relentless pressure. That's what these youngsters do. Queen f3, now knight b6, important move, keeping control of the d5 square. But Vishy blunders, he takes on e4, knight e4. Suddenly, it's actually black who's in big trouble here now. d5 is a powerful blow. Can Arjun find it? d5, and if pawn takes pawn, there's rook takes. And you will notice here, and Arjun going for it. Is he going to play? Finds it. Beautiful move. Look at this. Takes. I simply go rook d5, rook c1, check coming. This position is very weird. On the other hand, if you take queens, that's just improvement for white's position. Knight e5 played, attacking the queen. And now Arjun has knight d6 check. He finds it. What a move. Queen is hanging. If you come king d7 to attack the knight, I take this with a check. So that doesn't work. King c7 is also a problematic move. I just simply move the queen to a3. So Vishy now in big trouble after knight d6 check. He has to go king b8, trying to put his king on the side. But Arjun is now so much better. He goes, yes, king b8, and now the queen is hanging. So you need to do something about it. Queen to c3 is a brilliant move. It's just absolutely brilliant. Finds it. Queen c3. And now this knight is hanging. And if you take the pawn here, I go rook f1. The queen is attacked. Vishy takes. Now rook f1. Very important move. e5 knight in trouble. This is over. Just bring the rook hf1. And Arjun going for the other rook. No, Arjun, that gives up the d4 square. That's a blunder. Oh my goodness, he blunders. Big time. Now knight f3 and queen d6 is also hanging. That's huge. Rook hf1, if he would have played now, knight f3 is just not working. There's rook d5. Defends here. You needed the rook here. Also, the d4 square cannot be taken. Now with rook f1, the d4 square is free. Vishy Anand has just gotten a huge opportunity and he finds it. Queen d4, he's back. He's back in the game, and look at Arjun there. He's made a huge miss. He goes queen g3. The thing about Arjun, one thing that he learnt from his journey of chess is not to regret and repent on the moves that you've made which are wrong. Just realign, rework yourself and get into the groove. King a7. And now rook to d1. Yes, he finds rook d1. A good move, attacking the queen and the pawn. Queen f4. Queen to b3 played, trying to checkmate him on b7. And somehow Vishy is surviving. He's surviving it. Rook b8, a good move here. And Arjun now picks up queen takes d5. But rook h d8 is a great move. Finds it. Vishy back in the flow. Well, he's amazing. He's finding all the best moves here. Rook e1 played by Arjun. And now knight to c6. Again a beautiful move. Keeping an eye on the rook here. Also ready to jump into d4 if needed. Can Vishy take over here? Could be. Could happen. He comes back queen d2. A big mistake. Arjun had to play rook f1. Putting pressure on f7. It was a complex position, but queen d2 is just wrong. Because after queen takes queen, black is winning. Black is clearly winning. Can Vishy find the right sequence? He takes the queen, rook takes, and now knight e d4. Attacking the knight and giving up the f7 pawn, but then there's rook e8 pinning here. Finds the first move, knight e d4 with 1 minute 20 seconds. Vishy on fire. Arjun also has 1 minute. He takes on f7 and finds rook e8 as well. Now knight f3 is a fork. Anand is winning. Arjun is busted here. You can't even move the rook, you lose the bishop. That's the tragedy here. It's over. Vishy's, for sure getting excited. He can win this tournament. He can win the finals. And Arjun now, at a loss for what to do, plays h5. Pushes his pawn. Vishy takes it. You can't take here. It's pinned. So g6, last hope. The g pawn is your last hope. But Anand, now, time to fork. Fork. Knight e1, knight d2. Takes rook e1 check. King c2. And now a very good move is knight b4. Because wherever the king goes, you have check and you pick up the bishop. Finds it. Vishy is winning here. King b3. Check. King takes b4. He takes on f3. He's doing it in style here. Vishy Anand now has a complete exchange up. He has a rook for a knight and he's totally winning. Rook d7. Arjun trying for some last tricks with his g pawn, but it's going nowhere. Just rook g3. Finds it. Anand, you can see, is looking a bit nervous, but his moves are just brilliant. He's playing all the best moves here. Knight to e5. Now some check threats here. So have to be careful. Rook e8. Good move. Knight c6 check. And you can go back king a8 perhaps. There's also king b6. He goes king b6. Knight e7. Defending it this way. Now very careful. There's g7 coming somewhere because of knight d5 and rook takes g7. So you have to be slightly careful here. Vishy goes for a check. Yeah, he plays check. King a3 played. And now a blunder. h4. He needed to g7. Finds it. Arjun so sharp. He pushes h3. Because rook takes was met with knight d5 and rook g7. Misses it. A huge moment. And Arjun is back. Takes. Unbelievable comeback. Vishy there with the small nod of his head. Not nod, but shaking his head. He's so upset there. Well, but also, on the other hand, Arjun was winning in the middle game. So, could be that the thing is pretty fair right now. King b4. King c6. And king a5. He moves in. Pure nerves at this point. Arjun down to 9 seconds. He has to survive. Can he do it? Thinking. Vishy now. Rook g2. And takes this. Takes on b2. Check here to the king. And the king has to move away. And we have a4 by Arjun, and Vishy offers a draw. The game ends in a draw. And well, Arjun is like, I should have, instead of playing rook df1, I should have played rook hf1. And look at that smile on the face. They're playing the finals of such a tense encounter, of such a tense event. But still, it's just amazing to see Vishy and Arjun analyzing together. A huge chance missed by both players, I must say. Arjun would be unhappy that he missed the chance to beat Vishy, and Vishy would be unhappy that he had Arjun on the ropes, and that one final trick really was found by Arjun, that g7, and Vishy missed it. But that's the nature of chess. There are blunders everywhere waiting to be made. And right now it's a draw in the first game. I hope you enjoyed this encounter. I personally think it was the most intense and insane encounter between Arjun and Vishy. Also just goes to show how good Vishy Anand is, matching move for move with these youngsters, even at the age of 55 years at this point.